never thought you would find yourself in the boys' washroom again, let alone with Taehyung Jungkook pressed to your chest, his breath shaking against your shoulder. The tiles are cold, the scent of antiseptic and metal hangs in the air. The last place was something tender, yet here you are holding your ex-boyfriend like he might shatter if you let go. His voice is muffled, broken. She doesn't have long, he chokes out. The doctor said it could be any time. You squeeze your eyes shut, and she still thinks we are together. She keeps asking when we'll get married, if we have picked a date. Your chest tightens painfully. It wasn't supposed to be like this. He lifts his face to look at you, eyes red and shining. That familiar dimple barely peeks through. Please just pretend until she's gone. I'll never ask again. You nod, not because you owe him, but because his mother always treated you like her own, like the daughter she never had. You remember her warm hands, the way she used to braid your hair while you sat cross-legged on the floor during your high school visits. And now, this is the least you can do. You reach out and hug him, slow, hesitant, but real. His arms wrap around you instantly, too tight, too familiar. Your eyes flutter open, and that's when you see him. Through the slightly open door across the hallway, your eyes lock with Kim Taehyung. Your heart drops. He stands frozen, coffee in one hand, a pile of papers in the other. His jaw clenches, brows knit together in silent confusion, then hurt. You try to step away from Jungkook, but his arms keep you in place for just a second too long. Taehyung turns, he walks away. No, you whisper, stepping back. What? Jungkook asks, confused, still wiping his cheeks. What's wrong? You don't answer. Your heart is already chasing after Taehyung, thundering with guilt. The hallway is empty now, no trace of him. You lean back against the cold sink, breath catching in your throat. This wasn't supposed to happen, not like this. Not when things with Taehyung were finally beginning to feel like something real. Time skip. That night you sit at the edge of your bed, your phone face down touched. You haven't heard from Taehyung and a quiet fear gnaws at your chest. But it's not just about what happened today, it's about everything that led to today. Your mind drifts against your will, maybe. Back to the boy who once held your heart like it was the only thing he knew how to carry. Flashback. You remember how the first time Jungkook looked at you like you were magic. The campus festival was in full swing, neon lights bouncing off his brown eyes. He offered you a candy apple with a grin so wide it made your heart stutter. You look like you belong in a movie, he said. A horror movie? You teased. No, the ones that ruin you. You laughed, he didn't. That was Jungkook, always intense, always feeling everything just a little too deeply and hiding it behind that smile that made girls swoon and hearts race. And somehow he chose you. Another time, it was 2 a.m. You were sitting outside his dorm after another one of your arguments about the future, about time, about how he would disappear into silence every time you needed him to speak. You remember pressing your forehead to the cold wall, whispering, "Just tell me what you want." Jungkook stood there, hands in his pocket, eyes avoiding yours. "I don't know," he said. That's always your answer, because it's the truth. You left that night with a lump in your throat and a pain in your chest that didn't have a name yet. Another flashback. The final fight wasn't explosive, it was quiet, detached. You were sitting in the campus cafe, your coffee cold, his fingers tapping against the table. "I just feel like we're constantly pulling in different directions," you said. Like, we love each other but we don't understand each other. He didn't argue, didn't deny it, he just nodded. "Maybe we weren't built to last," he whispered. "Maybe we weren't built for each other at all." And that was that. No slammed doors, no accusations, just silence. The kind of silence that lingers long after someone's gone. Back to the present. You blink yourself back into the present, the weight of the memories pressing heavy on your shoulders. There was love, deep, undeniable love, but there was also confusion, insecurity, the constant ache of trying to fit into each other's futures and never quite finding a shape that worked. Now, his mother's dying, and you're the only piece of their shared past that still brings her joy. And yet, you're present. Your present is with someone else, someone who sees you without asking you to shrink, someone who listens when you speak, someone who might be slipping away if you don't explain. You pick up your phone, you hesitate, then you type. You stare at the message, thumb hovering the screen. You never hit send. Instead, the next morning, you find yourself waking the sterile white halls of the hospital, every step echoing louder than the last. Jungkook walks beside you silently, his hand stays stuffed in his hoodie pocket. His hair's a little messy, like he didn't sleep. Maybe he didn't, you didn't either. He stops just before the room. She's awake today, he says, voice low. She keeps asking you when you'll visit. I told her you would come. You look at him, eyes sharp. You didn't tell her we broke up? Jungkook shakes his head, guilt pools behind his eyes. Every time I try, she looks so happy talking about you. Her heart rate spikes when she's upset, and I just couldn't. He turns to face you fully, and for a moment, he doesn't look like your ex. He just looks like a son, desperate, tired, scared. Please, just for today, pretend. Let her see you happy with me. Your lips part, protest on the tip of your tongue, but then you hear a frail voice from behind the door. Is that Ryan? Your heart aches, you nod once. Inside the room is soft with filtered light and quiet monitors. Jungkook's mother sits up with surprising strength for someone so close to the edge. Her eyes light up when she sees you, like the world just made sense again. Oh sweetheart, she says, arms reaching. You rush to her side and she cups your cheeks like no time has passed. You're still so beautiful, still perfect for my son. You laugh softly despite everything. It's so good to see you, Oma. She insists on holding your hand the entire visit. Her skin is cool but her grip is strong. Jungkook sits beside you, his thigh brushes against yours too close. You two haven't broken up yet, right? She asks suddenly, eyes squinting like she suspects something. You stiffen, but Jungkook is quick. Of course not, Mom, we are still together. Still crazy about each other, he adds, glancing your way. His smile doesn't quite reach his eyes. You play along because this isn't about you or Jungkook, it's about her. So you nod, you smile, you talk about imaginary vacations, fake date nights, plans that will never happen. And she beams, she believes every word. Time skip. Later, outside the room, you finally exhale. Jungkook walks slowly beside you toward the elevator. Neither of you speaks for a while, but then, just before the doors slide open, he reaches out, brushes a strand of hair behind your ear. His fingers linger near your cheek. You freeze. It felt like before, he whispers, didn't it? Your voice is barely audible. Jungkook. I know we ended for a reason, he says, stepping a little closer, but I miss you, and maybe we were just too young back then. Maybe we didn't know how to make it work. You don't move. You feel the pull of nostalgia, of soft memories and rainy afternoons, the ache of what was and what might have been. His fingers graze your wrist. You still feel something, don't you? For one brief, terrifying second, you let yourself wonder, and then you step away. I can't, you say, voice trembling. Not anymore. The elevator dings. You step inside. Thank you, he says quietly, for doing this. You don't look back as the doors close, but your chest feels heavier than before because you did feel something, but it wasn't what he thinks. It was guilt because your heart now belongs to someone else. Time skip. The evening sky turns the campus amber as you climb the narrow staircase to Taehyung's loft-style faculty apartment. Your knuckles hover over the door for a full heartbeat, then another, before you finally knock. The door opens almost at once. Taehyung stands there in a charcoal sweater, sleeves pushed to his elbow, hair tousled like he's run his hands through it all afternoon. He steps aside, wordlessly, letting you slip past into the lamplight. For a while, neither of you speaks. He leans against the kitchen island, arms folded, watching you set your bag down by the couch. You can hear the old wall clock ticking, too loud like it's keeping score. You clear your throat. You saw us. You begin, voice barely above a whisper. His eyes flicker. He nods once. I did. He inhales, slow and deliberate, as though choosing every word. Are you still in love with him? It's not accusation, it's injury wrapped in velvet. You step closer, shaking your head so fast your hair brushes your cheeks. No, I am not. Then help me understand, he says softer now, because that moment in the hallway looked like heartbreak. You tell him everything. You tell him about the late night call, the hospital corridor, Jungkook's mother's wavering smile. You tell him how Jungkook begged, how you couldn't refuse, how pretending felt dishonest and kind all at once. Words pour out until there's nothing left but the soft sound of your breath strangling in the small room. At the end, your voice cracks. I should have come to you first. I was scared you would think I still wanted him, but I don't. I want us. Taehyung's gaze never leaves you. He pushes off the counter, closing the distance in three calm steps. He cups your face with both hands, warm, steady. Thank you, he murmurs. For what? You breathe. For trusting me with the truth, even when it hurt to speak it. His thumbs brush away tears you didn't know had fallen. I was jealous, he admits, eyes shining. I haven't felt that in years. It frightened me how much it mattered. You press your forehead to his chest, his heartbeat drums against your ear. Jungkook was my first love, you say, but you are the first person who ever listened to every version of me. His arms fold around you, anchoring all your scattered pieces. I don't need promises about tomorrow, he whispers against your hair. Just honesty today and the next day and the next. You nod against him, words lost, heart found. He tilts your chin up, studies you like a page of poetry, then kisses your forehead, the gentlest verve. In that quiet touch, something inside you settles, a click, a certainty. You never thought safety could feel electric, but here it is, sparking down your spine, lightening every dark corner Jungkook once left unlit. I fell harder for you every time you choose kindness, Taehyung says. Your laugh is half sob, half sunrise. I was afraid you would walk away. I almost did, he confesses. Then I remembered love isn't measured by the distance you run, but by how firmly you stay. The clock ticks on, unimportant now. You pull back just enough to see his face. We'll keep us quiet a little longer, you ask. Until I graduate, until it's fair. I can wait, he smiles, brushing your hair behind your ear, the exact gesture Jungkook tried hard earlier, but worlds apart in meaning. Just don't keep me in the dark. You link your pinky with his, your smallest fingers weaving an unbreakable promise, and for the first time since the washroom, your lungs fill all the way to the bottom. You are light again because the truth spoken aloud weighs less than secrets carried alone. Time skip. It starts with a message. You hesitate, not because you're unsure of your answer, but because you're unsure if answering at all will just reopen a wound that's already closing. Still, you meet him. It's raining. Of course it is. You find him under the old archway near the West Building, a quiet part of campus where memories linger like ghosts. He's soaked, hood down, rain sticking to his hair and eyelashes. The same boy who once made you feel invincible. The same boy who broke you without meaning to. You approach slowly, arms folded against the cold. You should have waited inside. Felt like the rain made more sense, he shrugs. At least it doesn't pretend. You don't reply, you just look at him, truly look, and it hurts a little less than you thought it would. He exhales like he's been holding the words all day. I didn't expect to want you back. You blink startled. Excuse me? When I asked you to visit my mom, I wasn't trying to start anything, I swear. But then I saw you and it hit me. He steps closer, his voice trembles like he's afraid to be too loud, too late. I still love you. Silence. Just rain, just breath. You glance away. We broke up for a reason. Yeah, I wasn't good at showing up. I was selfish. I didn't know how to give you what you needed. But I have changed. I know it's late, but it is. You cut in gently. It is late. He is close now. His hand brushes yours, hesitant, testing. Don't tell me you don't feel it, he says, voice cracking. Back there in the hospital, that wasn't pretend, not all of it. For just 1 second, the air between you shifts.